good. Got 1 minute 50 for this to do something nice.
Rather just close below than wait for another 15 and just go.
Yeah.
I'll get it close below them.
Morning YouTube. Starting up in a second. Apologies, I'm late. Alarms and that.
Just add the music, it's all tropical.
Oh, it's good little music.
Nice. Back in a sec.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Right, we're gonna make a start over here. Okay, morning. How's everybody doing? What's everybody looking at here this morning? Good morning. Apologies, a bit late today. A little bit busy here today. Just a couple of things happening on GJ right now. Just a little bit of what I'm seeing at the moment. You can see on the 4 hour. Again, resistance was formed, same as yesterday. Had a target formed here today. However, you can see what happened in Asian session, how we came down, we found some form of a rejection within that 4 hour candle. Now your current London session candle's pulled up, and you can see how it's tapped into this area right here, which is, if you look left, is your previous level of resistance formed at this area. So in order for us to come down and fill this wick and continue down to the 153 level, then obviously we need resistance form within this 4 hour candle. We've got that resistance forming. We've got our key level round about here. So you want to see nice solid closes in below that level, and then should be good to continue this move down. But obviously we've got to wait for some form of a confirmation. Considering the 4 hour candle is still open, very likely that, you know, it can pull back at any point. There was a little opportunity for buys in the morning, but it was a little bit more, obviously more risky based off of max sort of area before you were going to run into a hell of a lot of problems, which should have been somewhere over here.
Might just run down, but it just didn't present, did it really?
Yeah, it was really close to taking it as it was flipping here, but then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just wait to see, because then if we still close, you know, in below and then have a nice wick to fill, then the next candle should fill that and then look to continue. So I just like, let's just be a bit patient. But yeah, like I said, now that we're residing back below your 4 hour candle, which means that this area here is your current wick. So your current 4 hour candle is looking something like this, with a little wick like that. So pretty much, if you're looking for downside, you need to understand that whatever move you get into, it cannot exceed the current highs, which is technically over here. But I think you could get away with some form of a stop above this kind of level here. And then using this as more likely a target, but also paying attention to these type of areas as well. But it's coming down without. So just waiting for that opportunity. Stops are going to be relatively big. But we're looking for a much bigger target based off of your 4 hours. So you know this is the 4 hour wick fill down over here. So that's the first couple of things. This is your 4-hour wick fill. So this is going to be a target, and that continuation is going to be a target if we're going to get this continued downside. The reason why I didn't want to take it coming into this area is because you could easily have a wick start to create support, and then if we actually start to create support here at this area, then actually buyers make more sense to retest this. So that therefore would suggest to me I did not have the confirmation. It'd be a lot more risky to just sell based off of this candle, considering we're above a lower time frame resistance. What would be better for me would to wait to see candles breaking into that, and then I can have a trade. Which means we got 5 minutes left, right? 5 minutes left for this. Even if the 30-minute, let's say, then retraces and closes above, you could, in theory, give that a go because it's still a 30-minute. However, it's going to be a lot tougher based off structure, because then you can now get your new 30-minute start to push you up, and then this is where the candle is never going to come down to fill the wick and do this and etc. But where it makes more sense for buys, I mean, for buys, for me, obviously being safe would probably be above this area here, pushing up to in here, pulling back to create support above here. I'd be very, very interested in taking an opportunity. But apart from that, it's in a very tricky spot. It's for buyers, it's very tricky. Without confirmation, it's going to be very hard. You never want to come to the charts and say within one candle it could be buys or sells, but therefore then that's not, you've not weighted it, or you're not so for example, most of the time if this say this closed bullish, I know some people, I personally would potentially looking to retest this, but this rejected this area, which is a strong level. So now I'd prefer to be looking for downside based off the 4-hour, etc. Three minutes left. Gold long opportunity. Potentially, if you like that idea. Makes sense. Yeah, I think there's opportunity for gold to go bullish. A little bit of a pullback there in Asian. See, your daily closed above, right? So what would you be looking for from a continuational perspective? Go and ask yourself, 4-hour support forming, yes. Lower time frame support forming. But where are you going to look to take breaks? Well, you've got resistance form right here. You've got resist, so maybe above here is going to be your opportunity, right? You've got to look at these plans, look at the targets. You've got to have a plan in mind. There's always going to be opportunity, but it's whether it fits your rule set, fits your plan. You know, you could already be in a buy based off the amount of times we've been rejecting this support right now. Maybe. Depends on your analysis, right? If it were me looking at this right now, I'd say, okay, potential breaks of this area would give me a go. Watching this. We don't know what's going to happen here. Is they going to reject? Not sure. But I'd be looking for that opportunity, and then saying, okay, there's going to be my target for upside. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be streaming long today though, by the way, guys. A lot short of a stream because I managed to be an idiot. Yeah, not going to be streaming for long today.
Alright.
Yeah, it's looking alright.
Half a minute to the moments.
The only thing that's concerning me is just the structure at the minute. What's happened over here basically is what's concerned me. That rejection. Which is why technically below here you'd have a much easier sell. But over here obviously there is that opportunity, no doubt. But if you were to purely say, where am I going to get the easiest selling opportunity, it's going to be below here, because then you know that we're not respecting this support anymore, and then you can look to target there. So there would be your best range. This area right here would be the best range to trade. For me, would be the best area to trade, because look what's kind of happening here now. And if this goes bullish, in theory, in technical, from a candle point of view, next candle should push up to there, because we have not had confirmation yet. We've come back below the 4-hour flipping, but you can see now 15-minute candle, no good.
Not good enough.
No. So week 15 wouldn't even be looking for buys. 30-minute did close bearish. Would you be looking for sales right now? Potentially. Potentially, you might want to give it a go. Me now. Go on.
All here that quite dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. Me now, I'd probably want to see something like that on the 15. So, those in YouTube, listen up. That's probably something I want to see at this point. Maybe even use your 5 minutes, see what the 5 minutes going to look like. But remember, stops are going to have to go minimum here, if not safer there, because that's your current 4-hour high. But I think you'll get away with that. You know, if you're breaking that, then your trade is done at that point, in my opinion. I think a 5-minute candle break in 326 will give you a good shot as well. But just be cautious here, because remember, we're still actually bullish since London session. So don't get too carried away. London session market structure is bullish, right? You can see creating higher supports, created a target at this point. In theory, if you got this 15 giving you a nice strong close, the next 15 should continue this move, right? Which means sell analysis out the window. But for sells, what would I look for? Okay, one lower resistance and I'm off. You know, then we can hit these areas target wise. Keep an eye on the 5 minute. Your current low. Got time. Want to be careful of this hour though, right? This hour could whipsaw. Let's come back to the same area, first hour, which means if it's a pullback for upside, this is what it would potentially look like, based off of the wick. Long time to wait though, yeah? But you gotta wait. You gotta wait for your opportunity. So looking at gold. Gold broke this little level here. Does that now mean upside? Where stop's gonna have to go? Below here, minimum, aren't they? Minimum below here. For this to make sense.
Right, like a 4-hour level right now.
What? On gold, yeah. Yeah, but it should hit that nice level there to the left though. Keep an eye on GJ, 5 minute.
even if you got this hour closing below around 200, you'd probably see more downside after that. You break that support form. It'll just be quite a big stop loss at that point.
Yeah.
That 5 minute does look good though.
Could say that again.
I just don't trade 5 and stuff.
No.
Anything? Nah.
Not for Mr. Kelsey.
Not yet anyway.
Not yet.
What are you thinking?
You know me. Always like a little shot. So our first structural low or high actually formed on the lower time frame since the session start. So you have potential opportunity there, lower time frame. But you also could think about the 15-minute time frame. Maybe you want to wait for that. It's up to you. 15 minutes going to give you a good shout. 30 minutes coming down. We'll see. I think if you're going to take 5-minute options, then probably going to want to see this candle closing bearish below here. If it does, I think you're good, right? Awesome to see you back. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Yeah, I did really like that 5-minute option. Alright, I'll see how the 15 closes. As long as we can close bearish down below our little area here, should be good for downside.
I'll be on the 15 if we do close.
So that, oh, you'll be in the 15, yeah? Okay. Yeah, 5-minute, very difficult time frame to try and trade. But we'll see. But yeah, guys, what was I going to say? We will not be streaming for long today, so remember, spoke about a few options here this morning, so just here to interact. I didn't manage to sort out that chart thing. Nobody sent me a chart in order for me to be like, yeah, cool, let me double check that. Kelsey, I'm gonna need you to do that for me later if that's alright. I have no idea.
Do that now, actually.
Sorry?
I'll do that now. I can set the chart in it. Got YouTube up and I.
Oh, okay.
I forgot that yesterday. Because you like send it over the Zoom and I was like, oh shit, I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
The copy link.
Yeah. Copy link. I do really want to get that sorted out, otherwise people ain't gonna be able to send me charts. Defeats defeats the object of feedback, right?
Just onto YouTube.
Oh yeah, it makes me do that as well. So long, man.
Oh. So I send over the whole link, or no, it's just the code in it.
Yeah, it's the code, yeah.
So I need to put the X on it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, whenever you're ready, mate.
I did send it.
You didn't? Oh, you did. You did.
Yeah, it's not coming through.
Yeah, I've got it.
But yeah. So.
Alright, let's give it a try. If not, it's something to do with my settings somehow.
Could be, yeah.
Otherwise, there's no other explanation. Oh, well, yours worked.
That works, yeah.
Yours definitely worked. Okay, so Mr. Kelsey's worked, so looks like those sending charts yesterday was doing something wrong.
I knew it worked.
Yeah, so did I.
Typical.
Yeah, proper typical. Had to work, right? I was thinking, there's nothing. I can't be doing something wrong. It's the most simple thing in the world. The most simple thing in the world, that is, mate. Ugh. You know what I'm saying?
Couple minutes.
Couple mins. Couple mins. YouTube, you lot quiet again today. What's going on? What's going on, people? Should be nice and active.
Yeah, breathing through the mic a little bit.
Oh yeah, thank you.
I'm in these now. I'm not sure if we're talking about. I can't hear Mike Harrison. I don't know who you just said.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, it was the actual mic thing was loose. Yeah, so in terms of management of trade, well, if you get big ass 15-minute closing you up over here, then it's gonna be one of those days, right? It's not gonna be a good day, is it? However, if you get this new candle that looks something like this, I think you're just gonna be just fine, right? But look, it's our first structural lower high since the session, so we do have to respect this area now massively if we're going to continue down. Good morning, Ahmed. Are you looking to sell below the support? Nope. If you for those who obviously was listening, in these positions here, first lower high structural, right, coming from the same area, resistance formed, right? As long as we respect our current, and I repeat, our current 4-hour high, we can continue down. However, from a risk management point of view, if I got a big ass 15-minute candle do something like this, I'm not going to hold that position, because then we are not respecting this area. So in order for us to continue down, we need to respect this, to come down, push down to your support, and then potentially get continuation down to your 4-hour level. But just remember where we are from a 4-hour perspective. Look at your 4-hour candle now, right? It came up, created a top wick, it's flipped, right? We've got a lower structural high within this 4-hour wick. So what makes more sense? Come down, fill this, right? And continue down. Maybe we're going to hit 153, we don't know. A little bit of a big reaction there, right? But more resistance was formed, new area of rejection created. But with every idea, you know, you just got to say to yourself, well, what if I'm wrong? What will happen? Or what would it look like if I'm wrong? You know, all these little things will keep you sharp. So for example, like I said, big ass candle over here and out of that position. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean if it breaks this wick I'm out. It just means if we close up and above here, then I'm out, because then what would your 30-minute candle look like? Well, 30-minute would then be creating a support. If 30-minute creates a support, what makes more sense? Well, it makes sense for them to see that another candle pushing up. So it would make sense to sell it, basically. Like I said, we were always going to have the easiest selling option below here, but then your range is very limited and we could still find rejection in the same spot. But for sales over here, it's based off of structure that's formed in the same area as previously that was held during Asian. It's using the understanding of this coming up to a specific zone and finding that rejection. So that's my idea. What's your idea? What's your plan for the day? What are you looking for? Are you in a sell? Are you looking for buys? This is what we're here to help you with. Right, we're not here for everybody to just do the same thing. You need to be doing your own analysis, your own. Focus on you. Seems pretty rangy today. I mean, we're in a lower time frame range, but if you look on your 4-hour, you can see clearly, evidently, what makes most sense at this point. So you're always gonna have, you know, choppier, tighter ranges based off lower time frame. But if you focus on your higher time frame and scale down, you'll know the kind of areas that make most sense. You'll know what yeah, you'll base your idea off of the 4 hour, looking on lower time frame, etc. Yeah, you know, in here is going to be pretty tough. Down, you know, here is going to be tough. But if we was to, if you're, unless you're a lower time frame trader that purely waits for clean candles, you know, you're going to miss a lot of moves, because most of the time it's going to be trades within these kind of areas. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing. Looking to sell 153.22, as you said, it's the safest. 153.22, yeah. Only reason it's the safest is because then we would not be rejecting in the same area that your Asian session found rejection. Just understand that. Because understand that the rejection on the 30-minute came from these levels. So where do you think I'm going to be paying attention to when I come, if we're coming down? It's going to be this area. So for me, below here closes should give you that opportunity. If we don't get closes and you get rejection here, this is the reason why the Asian session can reject, and this is why it will reject again, and this is why you'd have been kept out, because you're waiting for that below that to get to here. I think that makes sense. 15-minute looks like it's forming up alright, doesn't it?
Not looking too bad.
Not too bad, right? But we understand what it would look like for us to say, yeah, cool, we're out of that. We're not going to be involved with that anymore. Gold. This is where gold gets tricky. This is where I don't like gold. But not even understand that yeah.
If you go on a 4 hour gold, there's a clear resistance. Oh, right there. Very choppy.
Yeah, it's true. Probably could still get probably could get a 4 hour, probably look something like that on gold, but we'll have to see. Just waiting to see what this GJ wants to do over here. See, these are the days you know that 4 hours moving choppy, so be cautious. You can always tell when 4 hours moving choppy by this lower time frame price action. See what I'm saying? Last 5 minutes coming back up to break its own high. It's tricky, right? Look at the 5 minute. Not breaking this area right now. Still got time. Looking to buy gold above 1843,600. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Hey HTG, what's going on? GU way cleaner than GJ if you check. Nice. Yeah, I don't look at GU though. Why are you not thinking 4 hour created a high and a higher low and may push up and continue up? Because I'm focusing on the 4 hour that's most recent, and based off of that, it's not created a higher high. You can see that it's created a new low. Right, you can clearly, and a lower resistance on GJ on the 4 hour. So that's why I'm looking for sells to continue this move. Buys only make sense above this area, because then we know, okay, we're not respecting this high. We could now actually retrace. but I'm not just going to buy based off of the fact that we've hit an area of where we've created a support. I'm not going to buy, because then you would have took buys there and got battered. Same with here, took buys here and got hammered. So yeah, no, it's got to. I'm sticking to the most recent price action. See 30 minutes. Yeah. Dodgy, right? Typical GJ.
Anything can happen in the last 5 minutes here?
Yeah, I've seen these days plenty of times. Seen this all before. Gotcha, makes sense, no problem. But yeah, if this closes like this, man's out. Because then you could have some mad buys for open. Not saying I'd take them, I'm just saying buys would make more sense, right? Based off open, creating a higher support. Now, see, this is where your 4 hour is becoming a very choppy situation. Because now you're creating a higher level support on the 30 minute. In theory now, upside makes sense. Got a target created for you on the 30 minute. But ultimately, sells make more sense based off of the higher time frame, right? So it's very difficult at this stage. Yeah, man just closed his position right here. Dodgy. No good. Bad day for price action, right? Look at the 30 minute now. Ouch. Tricky day. Oh well. You move forward.
Still, your mic a little bit of breathing.
Oh, what about now?
I'll let you know.
Alright, cheers. Oh wow, this is coming all the way up. God damn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. Shit. Yeah, this is one of those days, man. This is one of those awful days. Wouldn't even be looking for buys now. 1 hour candle. Oof. Tricky. Even if you're waiting for buys though, you had no opportunity. Unless you like the idea of what's coming up now, right? Solid 30 minute support forming. It's closing above this resistance, breaking this level now. Open gonna run this way now. See where it broke? Previous high as well. I ain't gonna be jumping all in that after one trade. But hey, if you like the idea, potentially if this creates a nice bottom wick as it starts to flip, taking yourself a nice little entry, then look to push up to your most recent resistance, considering we're creating a high level of support than we did over here. But yeah, now that is me done for the day at this point. Super tricky day, bad price action day.
Yeah, I was hard after the 400 top wick breaking up previous high and for looking to come down.
Oh yeah, so did I.
Yeah, just big wick there. Big wick.
It all looked very good, but this is where we can get done very quickly. And it's funny because those who probably buying right now are going to have a hard time as well.
Yeah.
For sure, because of X, Y, and Z, this area that you can see is going to be really tough to trade. But we do have a closure, 7:30, 8 a.m. We know there's a high probability this will at least get to 650, and then maybe you can get back to the 750, 700 level. But for me, this really made sense based off structure, etc. Otherwise, I'd had to have been in here, and then could have got way hammered. But yeah, you can see now those potentially took that buy opportunity. It's running nice, should get to 650s. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna have to call it a day anyway. Got busy day ahead. But yeah. Dodgy day, hey? Dodgy day. No real opportunity for buys either. Apart from obviously this 30-minute, but I mean prior to that, the only real opportunity for buys was somewhere over here, as I discussed right at the start of the stream. But was that the best opportunity? Probably not. Alright guys, thanks very much on the YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow. Bring some charts, bring some discussion. And we'll see everybody tomorrow. Make sure you drop a like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But yeah, if this starts coming down later on, like in the 4-hour candle, then this was just a mad choppy day, and you just want to probably stay away at that point. But I said what makes sense for buys. Buys are going to make sense above this 4-hour level. So I'd probably, for me, this was my personal plan, was to look for a trade in here for buys. Because in here I'm going to have a very hard time. Yeah, we've said above here is, to there, it's cool. But in here is going to be super tough. We can see what the 30 minutes doing now. This is where it becomes a very tough area to trade. But alright guys, thanks very much. Take care. We'll see you